Good day, everybody. Welcome back to Homestead Life Adventures. Today, I'm going to start off with letting everybody know that eventually we'll have individual videos of power and water. And today we're going to do the garden. So, we're going to do a little garden walk. Got a couple apple trees here. This one here, which I got to get staked up so it's not leaning over so much. This is one of those hybrid apple trees. It's got Honeycrisp and Granny Smith and I think Gala all wrapped up in one tree. And a little trial and error. One side's taken off a little bit more than the other. Might have to cut that back this season, so hopefully it'll grow out a little more even. Got some roses in the entrance. So like I said in the first video, keep in mind we do everything here on a budget. We don't get sponsored. Obviously, we just started. So all this stuff is right out of our pocket. So if we find free stuff like ditch culverts, we're going to turn those into planters. If we find pallets, we're going to turn those into shops way back there. If we find a cheap old 1960s trailer, it turns into a chicken coop. So over here we have our peas. Doing quite well so far. We got some blueberries across the back. Strawberries. We could move those around wherever we want them. We did have a big strawberry box down there in the corner, but it got taken over by rodents. So we decided to pull them out of there, kill the box off, and get rid of the rodents. Over here on this side in the middle, we have our corn. It had a little bit of slow takeoff and some kind of weird weed that evidently takes over in disturbed soil, so the internet says. We have got on our hands and knees and weeded that stuff out, and we're gonna have to do it again. This time it obviously won't be so bad because it was terrible the first time. There beyond the corn we have our potatoes. We have a row of yellows and a row of whites. This corner over here is up and coming. It is going to be a greenhouse. Welcome to the ducks and chickens. Over here we have our asparagus that is beyond control. We're still studying up on asparagus. We're not sure what we're doing. We know that it takes a while, but I think we have more of one sex versus the other one. And so we get this. That's what we understand so far. If somebody else knows something different, let us know. We have our chives. We've already cut off a first cutting of chives. We have those dried and jarred inside, and we use them all the time. Tomatoes with, I believe those are cucumbers back there. Bush. We've got our onions and more of that terrible weed that keeps taking over. We've got a tomato bush that we bought, and then a couple that my wife started from seed, and then a few more cucumbers back there. Over here, don't remember what we got. I think this is either squash or cucumber. And then we have a couple peppers. Because we have so many tomato plants, we're going to have some salsa makings. These ones here, bell peppers. Over here are the hot ones. We got a couple sweet banana pepper, and then over here we have a hot jalapeno. Over here we got some pickling cucumbers. That one we bought, and those ones there are from seed, obviously. And we got some mint growing up over there. Say hi, chickens. Say hi, chickens. This is their run. Goes almost the entire length of the garden. Probably about 50 feet or so. They love it. Now this little box thing used to be their run before we built the fence, when we had them out roaming the yard. The only problem is they destroyed my wife's rose garden. So they ended up going back behind a fence. Then, as we walk this way, back past everything, see the cucumbers here. We're going to make them so they come up and over the trellis cattle panel and grow vertical instead of spreading all over the ground. That's the goal, at least. We'll see if it works. There's a little garden house. We got that from a friend of ours. It's actually supposed to be a, I think, oil containment house, but cleaned it up and made it what it is now. Then this area right here, this is going to become our raspberry bed. You can see there's potatoes growing in it. We had potatoes here last year. They didn't do super hot. All the water runs downhill, and this is very sloped. And so we water, and now they've never been watered this year, but they're still growing, so I guess it really didn't matter. But we moved potatoes over here, so this is going to become raspberries. My job today is to take the Troy-Bilt and turn this into cultivated soil. And we're going to do that with magic in 3, 2, 1, and bam, just like that. Movie magic, just by pausing the camera. We got it all tilled up. Probably go over it one more time just to make sure it's good and tilled. Again, this is where the raspberries are going to go. Took me about 15-20 minutes. Some of this ground is a little harder than other parts of it where we didn't till before. And look at that. We have a potato. Isn't that crazy? In what used to be the potato patch. No way. All right, everyone. This is it for the garden walk. Hope everybody enjoyed it. And hey, if you like these videos, like everybody on YouTube says, hit the like button and subscribe. I'd love to build my subscriber load here, however you want to say it. And we'll be going through the water system and the solar power system in the next couple videos. Oh, I guess one thing we didn't cover. Let me back up here a little bit. This is how we water our garden. That right there. RV pump with a 18-volt battery hooked up to an adapter to a step down to a 12-volt and switched. That goes over to our holding pool. So you got another one beside it. It's full. And then we do have a soaker system set up in this garden. So we have the main water source coming up into here, filtered, going out to the soaker system, and then we have this line here that goes all the way up and around the garden to a spigot we have on that corner, way up there on that post up there, that a hose is hooked to so my wife could water the rose garden. And then this line here, where is it at? Right here, comes down and around. Oh, nope, it's down over here. Sorry, guys. Over here. Can't figure out my own hose map here. This one here circles around to the old strawberry bed and goes over to the old potato bed. That'll be future use. Then this guy here comes up and we got two zones. One zone comes off and does the corn and the potatoes, and another zone goes through and drops down into each of the beds with 1/4-inch line. And we had the perforated, I guess you would call it, drip lines, but they didn't do so good last year, so now we're going to use a soaker tube, just like a soaker sized garden hose, and we're going to use that instead this year and see how much better it works. I guess I didn't show you guys the beans. Beans had a slow start. We had to replant them because something happened to the first set of seeds. So this is round 2, starting to come out. Even these seeds started either being dug up by birds or something, but they ended up growing anyway. So anyway, back to what I was saying earlier. Now I think this will be it for the garden tour. Hope everybody enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, and we will see you next time.